Yo, what's up, everybody? It's the Good Life Podcast, the Kickback. It's your boy, Good Life Russ, and Good Life Twine on the ones and twos. How you feeling, brother?
I'm feeling good, man. How you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling very well, man. I can't complain. I'm still trying to catch up with my rest, you dig? But I feel good.
It's definitely been a long week for sure. I give you that.
What you got?
Monday, guys. It's y'all favorite day. I know this. It just gotta be y'all favorite day. This is my favorite day for sure.
Why is it your favorite day?
Man, you get to go to the kickback, man.
Yes, sir.
Good life, man. Y'all better check in with our boys.
And we're gonna have some real conversation, and it's gonna be real relatable. I think that's one of the best things I love we do. That this is for everybody.
Tonight gonna be a good show for y'all, for sure.
It is a good show, and I like that our topics are centric to everybody. It's not like this isn't just black people stuff.
Not really.
You know what I mean? This anybody can use this information. This is people stuff. So tonight we're gonna go over protecting your energy, talk about your intentions, and what do you do when you realize you're stuck in a cycle. So what is for me, protecting your energy starts with boundaries. What does that look like for you? What does protecting your energy mean to you?
I mean, to me, I guess in a sense, boundaries, but just your surroundings. Like everything and everybody around you is important. Mm-hmm. Like anybody you come in interaction with is important. I mean, to your energy, I mean, you got to know when and when not to. You know what I'm saying? Like some people just ain't right. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, like being aware and alert of your surroundings is major to me when it comes to that.
Yeah. And something a lot of people have to realize too is protecting your energy is not a negative thing. Protecting your energy is self-care. Because we're going to be in a lot of situations that we couldn't have prepared for. So your best friend is going to be your moral code, your character. What you do when nobody's looking. What you do when there's nothing at stake. How you treat people that can't do anything for you. Those are the things that I feel like once we put into the universe, they come back to us. So when we treat ourselves with respect, we'll find respect in the world. And that doesn't mean everyone's going to respect you. And that doesn't mean people have to respect you.
All right.
You got to remember protecting your energy means this is your space. These are your rules. Everybody don't got to play by your rules. They might not want to play at all. You did?
You might shouldn't want them to play. That's the scary part. It's like realizing when you don't even want people to play. Like, yeah. But I think this is a good topic, man. This gonna touch home with a lot of different things, with a lot of different people. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so many avenues to protecting your peace. Like, you know.
No, I agree wholeheartedly. And it makes me think always to ask myself, am I at peace? Am I okay? Like check in with myself first before I call myself protecting my peace, before I call myself setting boundaries and adding discipline. Because I feel like all of these things, it's the Holy Trinity, you dig? And we have to realize our boundaries are for us to know. We don't have to reinforce our boundaries. We don't have to tell somebody what our boundary is for them. You dig? We have to make sure people live within that boundary. We have to make sure we are comfortable with the boundaries we set. But we can't expect anything from anyone. And a lot of times we have weaponized protecting our peace and different self-care, you dig, techniques. And we're starting to use them as shields and as swords. And everyone should feel safe around everyone. You dig? There is no protecting our peace where other people feel unsafe inside of our atmosphere. I'm assuming. Oh, there, Brody, go. I'm gonna add him back.
Man, I had to turn my stuff on Do Not Disturb. I don't know what. I lost y'all for a while, man.
You ain't missed nothing, man. I was going over the fact that our boundaries are for us to know. Other people don't have to know our boundaries and what our boundaries entail. We have to enforce our boundaries with other people. So they belong in the boundary. But they don't have to know, every single aspect. They don't have to know today I'm not taking calls after 10. They're going to find out if they try to call after 10. You dig? That's me enforcing the boundary. And sometimes we'll set the boundary and then we'll answer the phone at 11 o'clock and now we mad. And this is what I mean by protecting your peace and not weaponizing it. You got to ask yourself, who you really mad at? You mad at them or you?
They can't help calling, but you can help answering.
Yeah. So a lot of people are using those things to justify protecting their peace, and they're using it against the person, you dig, that you should be coming together with. At no part of healing is it going to feel like y'all are at war with each other. You might feel like you at war with yourself. You might feel like you at war with your own beliefs. You might feel like you at war with your God. You dig? But you ain't going to be at war with your team. And there's boundaries I had to set from being in a team. I love my teammates. I want them to have all the successes in the world. But I had to reinforce the boundary. My plate is not your meal. You dig? You shouldn't be watching my plate, and I ain't watching your plate. But we both making sure each other eat. Because that's right. Possible. Once you become secure with yourself, you can live in those type of atmospheres. You can want somebody to eat, but you ain't got to fix their plate.
Hey, I think that's a good analogy when you say that. People don't realize that, and sometimes you can feed somebody and not eat with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I done made plates and had to get up and walk away from the table. You know what I'm saying? Like dealing with certain people, you know what I'm saying? And, that's a part of protecting your peace is knowing when, you know what I'm saying? What the old people say, know when to hold them, know when to fold them. Like, in every aspect of life, you're going to always have, a negative side to something. Like, I don't care how much positive you put out, it's always going to be a negative side to it. And I think that at fault, the only thing that we can do to secure that is, you know what I'm saying, protecting your peace. When you protect your peace, that negativity don't mean that to you because you focused on one thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, after everything that we done been through in life, friends, family, relationships, you know what I'm saying? Over and over, we ask ourselves, like, why do people keep doing me like this? Why do people keep, doing this to me? Why is this person taking this from me? Why am I going through this with this person? And it's like, you allowing this. This is what you're allowing, and it's not their fault that you've taught them that this is how you want to be treated. The more and more you accept something, the more and more you allow something, the more and more you giving somebody the invitation to treat you just like that. When you learn to start protecting your peace at all costs, I don't care who it is. It could be your mama, your daddy, your boss. Like, you got to know how to protect your peace.
Yeah. And you got to find that balance. Because that's going to, once you start protecting your peace, once you found the cojones to stand up to Big Mama, you dig? Now you're going to want to try to stand up to everybody. And this is where we have to protect our energy even from ourselves. I have to protect me even from myself. I have to protect my children even from myself. All of these things is your self-care journey. It ain't just how you look. It ain't how you feel. It ain't what you think you have. And I love that you put it in a sense of negative, you did, because people have to realize negative is not bad. Negative means absence, and positive means present. That's it. You dig? And there is no such thing as negative. That's what spirituality taught me. There's only the light. Darkness is just absence of light. Darkness is not a thing. It just means there's no light present. You dig? And the light, you dig? You shining. You seen. You're in that moment. You got that energy. You holding that flame. You dig? You got to do something with it. But too many times we get caught up on, is this bad? Is this good? What's Big Mama going to think? You dig? And it's too many barriers and too much tiptoeing we're doing in the name of thinking we're protecting our peace. And really, like, we are the thing, we are the disruption. So I say that all the time, like, when you the problem, it don't matter if you leave Ohio and go to Atlanta. Like, you taking the cloud to Atlanta. Ohio's better off. Thank you. we needed some sense. You moving? Hey, I'll help. Let's pack them up.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's gonna go everywhere you go. You can't escape yourself, and you shouldn't be trying to. That means there's some type of disruption going on within you. And we make too much time for everything but healing. We make too much time for sin, and then we put stipulations on healing. I'm gonna work on it for 10 minutes. But you was in a strip club all night. You know what I mean?
Only got 10 minutes, boss.
You gonna need a whole day worth of scrubbing. You can't just get in a little quick shower clean. Cap.
Hey,
I still see the dollar hanging out cap. You still smell like the strip club. You know what I mean? And what I had to accept in life is my right or wrong is not, I don't go to the strip club anymore. My right or wrong is I go there and I'm proud. If that's where I'm gonna be, I'm in there turn. I ain't in no church coat with nothing on underneath. Them niggas is crazy. But I'm in there being respectable and, you know, throwing money in a responsible way, in a safe way. But I'm in there, I'm living. This is what I do.
Yeah.
I might vote for them. I might do flyers. You get what I mean? Like, I'm going to be in that environment. When I did clubs, I was in that environment. Even as much in the back of my head is like, I need an exit strategy. Like, this ain't going to be it for the rest of my life. Because when I'm sober, it's terrible. I got to really see what it was like.
Man, that's it.
Like Halloween in that joint, bro. I was like, oh no. And then, you know, a couple incidents happened in the club, and I was like, man, is this worth your life? Because cats that, you know, don't be in the mix don't understand, like, that stuff happens to anybody, and it can happen at any time. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of times where we're not paying attention to our surroundings. And there's a lot of times when we're not in the right mindset, and we know we shouldn't be driving a car. We know we shouldn't be out running around with these people. You know what I mean? And you got to protect your energy. You got to protect your peace. So we're taught in this Western education, like, we got to learn how to deal with other people. Like, no, you got to learn to deal with you. You got to learn to accept you and not just tolerate you.
That's tolerating is crazy.
It's crazy, bro. But we were taught that. And a lot of people in our generation felt like they were tolerated and not raised. And I think that's why a lot of us parents stay up so much their late nights trying to figure out how to be a good parent.
Hey, I had many of them nights.
Yeah. Wondering if I'm doing it right or wrong. You know what I mean? Damn, my condolences, Chantel. She said she's lost her best friend that way. Car accident on a party night. Yeah, me and bro was just talking about that. Lost a few homies like that.
Yeah, man, definitely my condolences. That's, you know.
Yeah, and it'd be the hardest one to lose. It'd be the funny ones and the life of the party, and they cheer everybody up, and then something happened. You feel me? And it's like, damn, we got to learn like this.
My lesson had to be this person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You feel me? But the truth of the matter is we don't always realize what's at stake. In our anger and our confusion and our hurt and our sadness, we don't realize what we're giving up. You dig? Like, so for me, that's a part of protecting your energy too. And that actually leads into your intentions. You feel me? I don't begin anything like that I'm not prepared to walk away. And I don't begin anything I'm not prepared to see through every day for the rest of my life. I have to be both people. Unless I'm going to get stuck, which we're going to get on that later, you dig? But if I'm not balanced, it's easy for something to knock me off, to push me over. to blow me back, to push me forward too fast. You feel me? Like I have no control now of my direction. So now that's going to affect everyone's energy around me. So now I'm constantly making my kids and anyone that comes around me feel like they have to protect themselves against me. Oh, dad's working on this. He's usually yelling. I see he got that Henny tonight. Let's go to bed early, y'all. Let's turn it in. He gonna be turned up tonight. And I made it a point to myself to never. Well, I'll say this in a certain way. I made it a point to myself to never hide who I was from my kids. There's obviously hella things they don't know about me that hopefully they never need to know or never need to see me do to somebody. But you dig, like who I am daily, I don't try to hide who I am. Like they know who I am.
I think that's major in these kids' life today, though. So many people, we done had this conversation on the podcast. I think our first and second show. Sometimes trying to protect your kids or people around you from going through things is more harmful because they never get to learn that lesson. So if you can't see me for this person, if you can't see me in this form or fashion, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is it to you to do to get out in public and see somebody that you don't know in that fashion? You don't know how to react. You don't know how to encounter with them. You don't know when to say, all right, this person is gone way too far. I've never seen this before. So you don't know to get away. You fascinated with something new to you. You know what I'm saying? You standing around, and that's what you see a lot of time, innocent bystanders, teenage parties, college parties, the person who got shot ain't the person who was in the situation. It's the person who was just standing back. They were so amazed at what was going on, and like I said, I try not to protect my daughter too much from certain things, because life will teach them the best way. And you got to learn and you got to pick and choose, what lessons to let life teach them and what lessons to teach them yourself, but, certain things I feel like we do too much protecting, and it wind up costing us a lot in our kids' life. And as a parent, I'll never fault you because that goes to this topic right now, and it's your intentions. It's crazy how you can have great intentions and something bad can happen. Being a parent, that's going to happen a lot. It's going to be a lot of times that you're going to know that you are invested into this thing for the right reason. And something going to happen or your kid going to do something and you're going to look like, man, what the? Like, but as long as your intentions is pure, as long as you have good intentions in the beginning, as long as you go into the situation with the intention of finishing and following it through, you learn that anything can happen. You know what I'm saying? And bad things will happen with good intentions, but you learn to channel that and you learn to receive that, be receptive to it, because a lot of people, go through life depressed because they don't understand that as long as your intentions was good, it don't matter. I'm not going to tell you, I had good intentions, so I went and killed all these people, but, we think to realize and, just being realistic to some of these topics that we are discussing, that, if your intentions are good going into it, sometimes bad things are going to happen and we have to be able to be adult and live with our choice and know that when we made that choice, we had the right intentions at that time. So anything that may come with it, we're going to have to deal with.
And that's another thing I want to touch on. Adrian says some lessons come with a smooth uppercut to make your teeth click. Chantel said the transparency is crucial to growth. Facts, I agree with both of those statements. And what you were saying, something we have to realize as well is karma doesn't pay out like immediately always. You dig? Sometimes like what's happening to you is some shit you did a year ago. And this is it coming back to teach you a lesson or punish you. You hear me? Like everything isn't sent as a message. We can learn from everything, but everything wasn't sent with love. Some shit was sent with a fuck you.
Hey. And sometimes karma don't come back right then, and some karma don't come from you. That goes back to both first topics of, protecting your peace, because even the people around you, you got somebody around you who you know ain't doing right, you might be catching some of their karma, like a lot of your lessons, what I'm saying, that God may be trying to get to them may be taught through you. So definitely recognize, what I'm saying, your surroundings and who you're around, because karma don't have no eyes, it don't have no name. It got a list.
Yeah.
And the list say get the job done at all costs.
And
I don't care what you gotta touch, who you gotta touch, like get the job done.
Mona Brown says you can definitely inherit other people's karma. And that's a fact. And we also have to remember the duality, you did, because there's good karma. There's good karma, and there's the karma that you don't want, you did. And Mona said, Chantel said you were a vessel. Mona said and karma can skip you and get your kids. Yeah, 100%. You did 100%. And karma works both ways. So this is what we was talking about on the first show. Sometimes as a parent, the project and the thing you're working on right now is for later. It might be for your kid in 20 years or 10 years or 15 years. This is how you want to treat the karma in your life. We can't be looking for an instant payout. Like this ain't Cash App. Like this would be more so like gardening. This is, you got to plant seeds, and each seed has a different growth time. Each seed needs a different type of nurturing. Each seed needs its own space, and all the seeds can't grow next to each other. So you need to know which goes where, you dig? All of that is a part of protecting your energy. Because this goes back to the analogy what we were saying with the car. When we was younger, you want the Range Rover until you get the oil change, until you got to get the tires rotated. Like now you understanding the maintenance of this. You thought it looked pretty, and you thought you had enough money to afford it. Until you see what it really costs. You ain't think about maintenance.
The difference between being able to pay for something and being able to afford something. Big difference.
Yes.
Big difference.
And that's how karma works. And a lot of times we ask for things we're not ready for, and the universe is like, all right, bet. You dig? So that came with my security. I had to realize I have everything I need. I shouldn't be out here asking and begging for nothing and tying people up because I need to vent on the phone with them for 5 hours about something I'm going to let go tomorrow. You dig? All of these things is bringing back karma. Because now I'm in my highest energy. I'm like, oh, bro, calling me back. Bro, called me on fire. Like, bro, I got to tell you some 5 hours worth of. I'm like, oh, it came back. And that's why I had to realize I can't be upset either. I put that out there. So I don't get to play Two-Face and say, oh, it's wrong when you do it. You dig? It makes sense when I do it.
Man, listen, boy. I ain't gonna lie though, man. I think that karma is good in times, Some of them karma lessons be the best lessons, Unfortunately, they come some detrimental, But I think they build character in the long run. Going through certain things and trials and, just dealing with different aspects of life, you realize that, if I didn't learn this lesson, if I didn't go through this, I wouldn't be who I am today. I wouldn't know, the things that I know. They go back to our topic about, allowing people to, make it all the way to the top and never deal with no struggle or no triumph with it. And then you get all the way up to the top and something happened and you don't know how to deal with a simple problem. So, I think that, the way of life, you need karma. You definitely need karma. You know what I'm saying? And like you always say, you got to see the good with the bad. At all times, it don't matter. Like, if it's there, it's there. So, I think even with every other problem in life, like I said, build character. You always learn. I don't think that, anybody get karma and don't learn from it. It might not be a long-term lesson, but in that moment, you learn something. If you touch that eye and it's hot, I bet you ain't gonna go back and touch it right now. You might in a couple of years. We get a little bold. We learn a couple things. We feel like we know something. You feel like we think that we can outsmart that eye from being hot, but right there in that moment when you touch that hot eye, you ain't coming back.
Humble pie is getting served. You hear me? And they cutting up in the comments. Cutting up. Mona Brown said, just like when you keep messing with someone who you know not good for you, and then God make them your baby dad or baby mom. Yeah, take a drink to that. Take a drink for all of us. That's diabolical.
Like my motherfucking blood talking about some guy.
Talking about karma, you hear me? And I think, people have to change the conversation of, I always, push people to like this limit of understanding, but they have to change the conversation of what they think happiness is. And to me, happiness is awareness. I'm happy because I know how I feel. So I might not feel the best today. And I'm good with that. You get what I'm saying? I'm not trying to dissect those feelings. I'm not trying to make sense of it. I'm not trying to get to a diagnosis. I'm happy because I'm aware. I know what to look for in myself. I know where not to overlook. I know how to cheer me up. I know when to throw some music on. I know when to roll up. You get what I'm saying? I know me.
You learned you.
Yeah. So that's a win. That's a win. This is what I push on my artists. Like, the fact that you can put out your art, that's success. It's not the money that come with it. It ain't the fans. It ain't the validation. It's the fact that you get to do it, that you want to do it, that you woke up excited to do it today. That's the win. You get what I mean? That's what your happiness should be centered around. Because you're going to get all them accolades, and that's all you're going to have. Y'all going to be living together. You dig? Like, I don't want things. Like, I want people. I want moments. I want legacy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want things. And I had to learn, as much as I was protecting my peace, I had to protect everything else. I had been at war so much with the PTSD. Like, I was always guarded, always cautious. I knew what to do in a drug meetup, but I didn't know how to go ask somebody's dad for their hand in marriage. You get what I mean? I knew who to call when something got sticky. I didn't know who to call when a kid wouldn't stop crying.
Man,
my bottle on the table half gone, so I don't know what happened, y'all. Hey, come help me, man. Come help me, man. I'm on Google. I don't know who to call. You hear me? And I had to become aware of that. I had to accept that. Like, this is where I'm at. So, you gonna cry about it, or you gonna figure it out? You know what I mean? And there was a lot of times where past me, I would just sit in it. I would just try to sit in those emotions and sit in those feelings. And we gotta let that stuff go.
You would drown, boy. You would drown. I'm telling you, that's an ugly place too. That's a bad drown, man.
Yeah.
You know, like, your mind is your worst enemy. I'm telling you, like, you can allow your mind to consume everything in your life. Like, everything. I watch people lose it all, just letting their mind consume. Oh, this person doing me wrong. Oh, this is going on. They just can't figure it out. It's just something wrong. Like, their mind has consumed them to believe that everybody is out to get them. And it's sad because they don't know no better, man, and it's uncontrollable. Like, that shit is sickness for real, man. Like, sad to say it, like, it's really a sickness, man. You gotta learn that grow through it. You know what I'm saying? Like, your mind gonna do different things. It's gonna tell you different things. Being aware of you, being able to protect your own energy, control your thoughts. The people who win their life are the people that learn how to control their thoughts.
That's the way out, though.
I don't care what you dealing with, bro.
Yeah.
If you can control your thoughts, bro.
That's the way out, though. Is people have to learn to relinquish control. They have to learn to let it flow. They trying to control something that can't be controlled. Greatness can't be tamed. You get what I'm saying? A lion don't want to be on no leash. You are trying to change the fabric of what something is to make it fit into a mold that you think is happening. That should show you this is fake. This is not real. If everything around you got to pretend to be fake for you to feel real, the jig is up.
Yeah.
The jig
is up. Man.
You dig? So when it comes to what we after, when it comes to like our black excellence, you can't control that. No one can control that. It's not meant to be controlled. I let everything I do flow through me. I don't control none of this. I'm not pulling no strings, none of that. I'm along for the ride just like everybody else. That's how I'm able to keep going because I'm just excited as other people be. I get to see greatness. You know what I mean? And I had to humble myself and I had to kill my ego when I used to say, I'm making greatness happen. I'm a great nigga. I'm a this, I'm a that. And I had to grow out of that, bro, because I don't need that. I don't need those titles and I don't need validation. I need to know my people straight. I need to know we fed. I need to know we learning. I need to know we strong. You get what I'm saying? And the only way I could do it is being on the front line, is doing what we doing, is us putting those words into action. Because a lot of times it's just words. That's why I teach people in therapy. Like a lot of what you think is your worst situations, it was only worse in theory in your mind. You imagine it. But what actually played out was not as bad as you thought it was going to play out.
You don't realize that
for a while of the time. How it actually happened is boring to tell somebody. So you tell them what you thought was going to happen. That's where you got creative. That's where you had your pinky out.
That's where you realized.
And then they said,
man, bro.
You dig? And a lot of times that's what people are looking for when they come together. They're not looking for healing. Like they trying to swap stories. You dig? They trauma bonding. And that leads into that stuck feeling. This is a new thing that our generation is experiencing. Like once depression first hit the market, everybody was like, oh, this is gonna be the worst thing out. And we was like, hold my beer. I got something better for you. You dig? And we're living in now what's called despair. And despair is just you accepting that depression. You living like it's normal. You're living like nothing's wrong. And you don't let people talk about it. You don't let people bring it up and you stay away from your triggers.
It's sad to say, man. A lot of people live like that.
Absolutely.
I can say that from experience. Like, you know, I used to have that mentality as long as I can make it to tomorrow, man. Like, man, as long as I can get through tomorrow. Like, even as a kid growing up, I remember like being at school and like knowing, like, man, when I get home, I'm gonna give my butt whoop. I done showed out. I done got us right up in this class. This teacher done called my dad. But my mentality used to be like, shit, as long as I can make it back to school tomorrow.
As long as the whooping don't kill me.
Man, right, man. Like, man, that whooping gonna be over, bro. Like that next day at school, I ain't gonna think nothing about that. As long as I can make it to tomorrow. But man, people drown there, man. I'm telling you, bro. Yeah. It's a devastating place to be in, man. Mentally.
Yeah.
You know, like you gotta, you know what I'm saying, acknowledge, bro, shit is going on around you. You gotta be alert and aware of your surroundings. You can't be one of them people like, yeah, I'm just walking through fire and I'm not gonna pay attention to nothing that's going on. Like, yeah, you should be focused on your goal, but you gotta be alert because between you and this finished destination that you're trying to get to, you got things that's coming across that you're gonna constantly have to see. That don't mean you gotta interact with them. That means you might have to stop, put a halt to something that you got going on. So those things can go past. Then you can continue on your travels. But you got to be alert of what's going on around you, man. You can't be stuck in that mindset.
Because I love that you said that because people don't realize that drags that bad karma sometimes in your life. That's why you walking around stepping in so much shit. Because you was walking down towards your journey and you ain't break up that man trying to fight that woman. And you ain't stop that dog from trying to get to that kid. And you get what I'm saying? You ignored a lot of shit. You ignored a lot of shit, bro. And I ain't never been like that. I ain't never been about that. That's how I create all that karma. Like, I'm going to say something. I'm going to drop knowledge to the YNs on the block. You know what I mean? I'm going to throw a couple dollars at the corner store. Like, and that's what keeps that good karma flowing. That's what helps me realize I'm already winning. I don't need your win. I don't need your trophies. I don't need your platform. You dig? Like, they want us to be on their stage holding their awards, saying, I did it. This was my greatest thing was winning this person's award. Stop it. My greatest thing was getting up today. That's the greatest thing I did. Everything else I did is gonna be, you know what I mean, like the cherry on top. And that mentality came with healing. I had to accept one day, like I'm already on borrowed time. I can already count how many times I thought it was over. You dig? I'm going into the situation like, oh, this is it. Damn.
Yeah. Nah, for real.
And
That's
when
crazy.
you get through those situations, you have to learn to live on. You have to learn to keep moving. You have to learn like that was not the end of your life. And that's difficult. You know what I mean? So I've worked on repurposing that and realizing like nothing can go wrong. Like I'm on borrowed time. Everything's a win. I'm not scared of anything. I'm not worried. The day is time for me to check out. You know what I mean? I've lived. So it's like I have no regrets. I do not do regrets. I don't like regrets. They not allowed here. You hear me?
Like I said earlier, at that time I made the best decision in my intentions.
Yeah.
Whatever may have played out. Man, I gotta deal with that down the road, man. You know what I'm saying? I could never say, oh, I regret it. Like, nah, man, because when I made that decision, I had the best intention at that time. I thought that was what was best for me or for whatever or whoever I made that decision for. So I never say I regret no choice I made in life. You know what I'm saying?
That's diabolical if you rather have regrets than admit you was wrong. That's diabolical. You hear me?
Hey,
that's why you got that regret, because you don't want to admit you was wrong.
That's so it's so normal now though. Like, motherfucking boy.
Bro, I'll be wrong. I'll be wrong all the time, but like for the best things, for things that matter to me, and things I know I am going to do the work to make sure I'm right. That's why I don't mind being wrong.
I don't mind being wrong because wrong tell me that I attempted.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had to do something to fuck up to realize, like, you know what I'm saying? This ain't right.
And you had to be transparent. Some people would get embarrassed and be like, hey, they like, that's what I'm saying about Ben Simmons, bro. You too cool to be great.
I definitely see it even more now after that analogy. Like,
bro. Like I meet people in every field like that, and they very talented and they're very intelligent, but they too cool to, you know, get an answer wrong or like be the smartest person. And what?
But getting the answer wrong is how you learn. You feel me? It teach you to never get back up there and ask that question. You already did your research before you got up there on that platform. Now you prepare. That's gonna be our topic next week. I'm bringing that to y'all right now. We're gonna drop, man. Preparation.
Yeah.
I love being prepared, man. Like,
that's a whole joint in itself.
Yeah, we ain't even about to go there. We're gonna say that. I love that word.
They jumping in. They jumping in the comments.
I definitely love that word, man.
Listen, they jumping in the comments. Mona said black people always want to mind their business. A fact. Adrian said, I feel like at first it was for potential survival, but evolved into intentional ignorance. Absolutely. People don't like being told about things they should be holding themselves accountable for. Chantel said, people don't realize how much baggage we really carry from being owned by non-seasoned people. It shows up in so many habits we have as a culture, for real. Wisdom is on the other side of failure. Absolutely. And we still living in that trying to put on airs for each other's shit. Like, I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not trying to look right. I'm not trying to look like I know how to run a business. If I'm not running my business right, pull me to the side. Like, yo, I don't care for how you did that. You know what I mean? And that's protecting your energy too. But also that's that good karma. That's you breaking up that stuff on the street in between here and where you going and realizing like, I got to say something about that. Or, yo, that's not right. Versus you just having that feeling and moving on. Like, we can't say we a community. We scared to get involved in each other's lives. It's so crazy to me how we live, bro.
Hey, listen. Hey, you just said something that you don't even know. It just touched home so crazy. Like, I done really had to cut people off for trying to make they right my right, just so that they wouldn't tell me I was wrong. Like,
yep.
Hey, I get a weary, sick feeling when, you know, I might know I'm wrong about something. I might be trying to convince myself that I ain't wrong. But when I know you know I'm wrong and I hear you tell me that I'm right, oh my God, bruh. It's like, bruh, you ain't my friend for real. Like, Why would you even allow me to believe that this is right? Like, but so many people, you know what I'm saying, the company of others, you know, they depend on the company of others that they'll change their right to be somebody else's right, just so that they ain't got to tell them that they wrong, man. And people keep people like that around them, man. It's dangerous, bro.
Yep. And that's a boundary I have. You know what I mean? Like, I look at myself and I treat myself like a god, because that's what I see. So I wouldn't allow anyone to treat me less than. You know what I mean? And that's what we're up against when it comes to mental health. You're not really always dealing with a person. You're dealing with a person's representative. You're dealing with the person who they put in charge through all the other people they had to deal with, not you, everybody before you. And all the tactics and all the strategies and the coping mechanisms and the avoidance mechanisms and the blame games and them taking the fault when it ain't their fault. You know what I mean? All of those things, to me, is a direct result of where people are coming from and what people have been through. And this is what I meant by the beginning. I don't sign up for anything like I'm not prepared to walk away from, or anything I'm not prepared to get my hands dirty in. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, that's what we're up against. And we can't expect from a mental health standpoint for a person, as soon as you meet them, to just be like, look, this the 100 things wrong with me. Like, you think we can work? Am I cute though? It's not going to happen like that. You hear me? You have to be aware. It matters your intentions why you there, because if your intentions is only on certain things, that's all you're going to see. You're going to see that in everything. In your cereal, on the way to work, you dig? When they text you, that's all you're going to see. So you got to ask yourself, like, why am I here? Too many times people put that on the other person. Well, you knew I was bad. Why didn't you leave me? Come again? Come again? You know what I mean? Like, no, I don't live my life that way. I've never had to leave a situation because someone was ready for me to go. I started catching the vibes and I was already packing my shit. So by the time they look up, I'm heading out the door. They usually had to ask me, where are you going? Come on now, fam. Come on. We ain't got to do it. You ain't never got a lot of kicking with me. You hear me? I'm going to trademark that. You ain't never got a lot of kicking with me.
Never.
So if you giving me a weird vibe, I'm going to just remove myself. I'm not, again, that's what I mean about boundaries. The boundaries is for me to know. I just enforce them with them. They don't have to know I'm uncomfortable, or they don't have to know, like, okay, you done made a little too many weird jokes. Like, I'm about to hit my cut. You get what I'm saying? And I'm leaving this space because I need to contemplate if I'm ever coming back again. You didn't do anything wrong. I'm asking myself now, like, does it behoove me to be here? Does this 2 hours really make sense in my week? Because I got hella things to do with that 2 hours. I ain't no bored, you feel me, nothing to do ass nigga. I can use that too.
Say I ain't no nothing to do ass nigga. I got
you hear me? I can find some shit to do any given day. Even if it's relaxing, I'm gonna relax. If it's rolling, I'm gonna roll. You dig? That's music. I'm gonna vibe out. So I'm good. And that's going to threaten the people around you. That's going to intimidate people. So if you're not good with being intimidated, you gotta pay attention to who you're dealing with. Because some people are different. Some people are that light, and you know they're that light, and you can see it, and you can't unsee it. You know other people see it. That's a heavy burden for a regular person. That's why I don't date regular people. You hear me? I date like phenomenal people. I always gotta drop this gem, bro. It's one of my favorite episodes.
Tell them again, bro.
One of my favorite, super phenomenal. You did Mr. Fantastic. One of my favorite episodes, bro, was A Different World. And Dwayne and Whitley, shout out to Dwayne and Whitley. I'm all about the black love. You hear me? So it was the one where he was asking her, like, would she ever date, a broke dude? And she was just telling him, like, the type of guys I like, the type of guys I date, you know what I mean? Smart, intellectual, like, strong. A guy like that would never be broke. It's impossible. That's the knowing. That's the knowing. So you don't have to check for all this little weird shit in people that you don't even really care about. Know who you with. So then you can celebrate who you with. Versus you having to ask yourself, like, man, if it comes time we gotta build our own house, do they know how to build a house? You dig? Like,
facts.
If you in there stomach growling, like, does she know how to cook? Like,
boy,
sis ain't even took the chicken out the thaw yet. What we do? What's for dinner tonight? What's happening?
What you say? It's already 5 o'clock. She ain't took the chicken out.
It's getting late, is it?
We fucked.
Is it takeout?
Man.
So Chantel said no other culture does that either. It's way too many. It's what stops so many generational blessings. Mona said for sure because it's all they knew from their parents, and it's hard breaking generational curses because of fear and stigma. Facts. That's that embarrassment we was talking about. Niggas is too cool to heal. Chantel said, I talk about this in detail in my last book. I love that convo, General Ick. You definitely go cop that book from Miss Coach Chantel. Mona said, absolutely. The fuck don't put your insecurities on me and mask them as jokes, motherfucker. Chantel said, oh, I remember that episode. Yeah, different world was a different time. But Mona, yes. That is something that the world has to learn to see through and accept. A lot of people get talked to in a passive-aggressive way, and they just don't really see into what that person's saying. And I hate having to walk by because I see everything. So I'm just like, huh? You know what I mean?
Huh?
And there's times we got in trouble with that. There's times we was kids. Shout out to the homie. He know who he is. I ain't gonna say no names with this story. But we was kids and we was in a Gusmacker. And we walking past this trash can. And it was one of them unseasoned people talking to one of our people like they one of our people. Like they had the cookout, calling him nigga and shit. So at the time in me, I'm like, I don't even know what to do. I'm at a toss-up. Like, should I ignore this and mind my business? And we in a small town, unseasoned town. Ain't no chicken thaw. So I'm thinking like ain't a seasoning in a cabinet, you hear me? So I'm thinking like, should I let it go or should I say something? Bro done beat me to the punch already. He had already said so. You hear me? So it eventually ends up being a whole thing, bro. It was this whole big fight. We got kicked out of the Gusmacker. We got disqualified. We smacking everybody every game. So we get kicked out disqualified because we meet at the top of the hill. We ride at dawn. You hear me? They brought their dads, their uncles, and yeah, it was a thing.
Say it was a thing.
It was a thing. It was a hoedown. You hear me? It was we did a tap dance on somebody. And that's when me and your boy was thick as thieves. So we was tag team champs of the world. We was double team shit. It was bad. It was bad. But
shout out to my brother, man.
We all stuck together, bro. All the old heads, they came together. And we was the youngest team in it. You feel me? So everybody came out and they was like, yeah, this is how it has to be. Like, we got to break stuff up. Like, this going to stick to your soul if you just let injustices happen. If you can't get in the way of something and you just allowing it to fly, like, you're going to lose a part of yourself, bro.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean?
That's definitely a fact, man.
Mona said, lately, I've been dealing with that a lot lately with a certain group of friends I have. And then Chantel said, associates or friends? There it is. There it is. It's hard for me to have friends. If you close enough to be a friend, you my brother.
Your brother.
You get what I mean?
If you ain't my brother, you ain't my friend. You're associate. So it's like, you ain't really no in between. Like, yeah. Like,
but we do so much too. I know associates from hoop. I know associates from music. I know associates from poetry. You know what I mean? But
don't get me wrong, ain't nothing wrong.
If you ain't stayed the night in my crib, you're not my friend.
Yeah, like a friend is a word that honestly, like I never use in description of me. Like I might be like, yeah, that's your friend, or
yeah,
that's
your little friend. I'm being
but you don't really ever hear me be like my friend. It'd be like my bro, my brother, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, or my cousin, like, or they really my cousin. I don't have play cousins. I got my bros, you feel me? Like, and some of my bros closer to me than my bros, if you know what I mean. So, it's like, come on. Like, I don't have no need or desire to really use that word friend in describing to me. Like, I don't have friends. Like, I got family and I got associates. And nothing wrong with associates because it's a give and take world. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm willing to pour into my associate. Like we gonna pour into each other's cups. Sometimes I might be able to help them get to where they need to be, and vice versa. Like
Yeah,
that's the way of the universe. That's learning that we are meant to be used. Like use. Like, but you gotta allow people to use you constructively. Don't be out here just getting used and you ain't benefiting from it at all. Like, ain't nobody pouring into your cup and you just letting everybody put their straw in there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and they thirsty. They thirsty. And that's the two sides of the spectrum of that duality. You're either being used or utilized. Something's happening. You get what I mean? And that's where it all comes full circle with us. What was your intention to begin with? Because in some situations, I have to be used. As a parent, I'm used. Sometimes I'm a pillow. Sometimes I'm a blanket. I don't know how.
Sometimes I'm a punching bag.
A pin cushion. You dig? Like it comes with the territory. I've already accepted this is a part of our arrangement. This is a part of our deal. And that is security. A lot of times we've signed up for this package and we complain about it the whole year. You dig? And you could have canceled it. You could have been more wise with your decisions. There's a lot of things you could have done. So it's easy to look outward and say, what isn't this person doing? You know what I mean? And I don't run into those situations myself because I'm too good of a friend. I'm the type of friend I help you bury the bodies. You get what I'm too good of a friend. I had to back off for that reason sometimes because people couldn't match. They couldn't reciprocate my friendship, bruh. Because I love people. I want to see you good. I want to know you taken care of. I want to know you safe. Like no part of my day am I thinking, I'm glad bro hurt. I'm glad he tripped in that ditch earlier. I'm yelling at somebody next morning like, yo, we got to fill these fucking potholes. Bro almost broke his neck.
I don't think it's a real person in the world that can't say they done let loyalty beat their ass before. I mean, let loyalty put the paws on their ass. You hear me, bro? Like that's just the way of life, man. Being loyal. Like sometimes you can be too loyal, bro. Like you gotta learn when and when not to be loyal to situations, man. Like some people be old in situations. Huh?
We gotta ask ourselves our intentions.
That's always key. That's always first.
Sometimes people don't want you to be healed. They trying to heal somebody. It's for their ego. Sometimes they don't think you need a lesson and they trying to teach you some shit. It's for their ego.
All help ain't good help.
Yeah, because I ain't asked.
All help definitely ain't good help. And being able to recognize that is once again being able to protect your peace. Sometimes the dollar ain't worth it. Sometimes the dollar is getting handed to you to make you a part of their circus. You getting paid to be a part clown in their show. Mm-hmm. And it's sad that we gotta live like that and think like that, but that's just the way of life now.
That's what we accept.
Like
you feel me? That's what we accept. That's why so many jobs didn't work out for me because they thinking I'm about to come in and do all this extras. I'm not. I value my sleep. Oh, it's an extra $40. Click. Like what? I'm already one eye closed. About to be. You feel me? Like 400, you got to make it worth that sleep because my sleep is valuable. You hear what I'm saying? You better have some zeros. You off
$40.
$40. What am I gonna do with $40?
Spend it getting there and getting home.
Because with that rest, I could go make 4 bands. I could go plant that $4 million seed. Like with that rest, I can actually pour into myself and do the things I want to do. It may not even be money related, but too many times I'm seeing people's actions dictated by money. And they're thinking money is value. So they don't have any real value. Their best asset is their job. You dig? Like that has a lot sometimes to do with your mental health. We look around and we got really good friendships. We in a really good relationship, but you still just feel off. You know what I mean? And sometimes that's what it is. You're unfulfilled. You went in there with your little ass dentist cup, knowing you thirsty, talk about fill me up. What? This little shot glass. You better take your mug. You better take your jug, your pitcher, your tub. You get what I'm saying? Because you know you got it. And you know you're going to feel away. As soon as you see somebody walk by with theirs, like, I should have brought my... Damn.
I should have bought my jug. I should have filled that mug all the way up. Like,
they is filling up the jugs, huh? They filling up their whole jug.
Look at me with this
little shot, your little cup. Yeah, I'll take just a little swig. Don't pour it too fast. I don't want it to spill. My brother got to use his cup later. Just
people be too cool to fill them jugs up.
Yeah, too cool for school. You hear me? Man, I'm getting a jug with the straps like the super stuff. I'm gonna have that baby on my back. You hear me?
The big super yellow tubes, with the 2 tanks.
They know I'm prepared. They know I seen a juice off 1 or 2. You hear me? Coach AJ said that part. Money ain't nothing but a tool to be utilized. People idolizing the bread and don't know the values and purposes. Sad. The people that care about money the most have no money. I'm gonna just say that. Purpose, great minds. Chantel, Mona, raised off survival, looking for the next letdown instead of healing that trauma and pouring into yourself. Using it as a crutch because it seems easier to get the sympathy. Misery loves company. Drama loves attention. You dig? Like, that's where a lot of that's coming from. We was just talking about setting that boundary the other day. Like, lack of preparation in your life does not create emergency in my life. You need to figure out till 5 minutes before work you needed a ride there. I'm asleep. That ain't my problem. That's where we got to get to the power of no. No will change your life. And it's going to feel uncomfortable at first. And it's going to feel weird. And it's going to feel like you're rebelling. It's going to feel strange. Like, this ain't right. And that's what you should feel like. That's going against the grain. That's you deciding no more. You dig? And for too long, we had that feeling in our gut, like no more, no more. But we with hope, we enduring. We taking. We tolerating.
Oh, that's a fact.
That's stuck. That's what we're stuck in. We're stuck in indecision. Because when you are indecisive, you look like you don't know what you want. When you're indirect, you look like you don't know what you want.
My daddy always said, mean what you say and say what you mean.
And what people have to heal and learn is there's that third option. You don't have to say shit. You could have shut up. We didn't have to hear you talk. We didn't have to hear you say, I'm going to be the next billionaire. Just calm down. You ain't cut your grass. Settle down. Let's make a list and let's be responsible with this. You did?
Yeah.
So that's what I had to constantly grow up. That was a lot of, what my lock journey was and going through the different looks and people feeling like, oh, you're not going to get your hair retwisted? No, I'm not. What's it to you? You know what I mean? Like, this is for me.
No, that's a fact.
This isn't a celebration for other people. I tell people, like, the wedding is for everybody else. The marriage is for y'all. The photo is just for y'all. The hair is for me. The experience is for me. How I want it to look is for me. You just get to see whatever I'm going to do.
No, that's a fact.
But did you take the time to ask me why ain't I retwisted? Maybe I'm fasting. Maybe I learned something new. Maybe I'm in between. Did you even care?
What was your intentions behind the question?
Because they always
really want to know.
Once we're suspicious, they get offended.
Hey, and that when I say intentions, it's like as simple as that. When you ask me questions like that, what was your intentions? Like, did you really want to know? Like, is it something that you really was interested in? Did it fascinate you enough for you to ask that question? Or did you just purposely ask me a question with the intent to offend me? Mm-hmm. Like, and then people be, just astonished that it offended you, that you retaliated or that you responded to it. It's like, what was your real intentions behind that question? It had no purpose at all. Like, and I think too many times in life, we pay attention to them questions that don't have no purpose at all. Like, we definitely have to be aware of that.
Yeah. And it's because we lack purpose. We don't know where we're going. You dig? when you don't know what you want, it's easy to believe you want anything. It's easy to believe the next hot thing is the thing you want, or the thing you're supposed to have, or the thing you went out with the most. Now I just got to get it now. Because karma. Y'all said karma, right? Why ain't karma working? Now you start to manipulate things to try to get them to work your way. You see how hurt you see how much healing you need? You feel me? Like,
why ain't karma working? You know that. Hey, you a wicked motherfucker. Boy, hey.
But they don't treat the sin this bad. Just the healing. Just the medicine. They step on the medicine. They bagging up the sin. It's in the safe. It's safe. They hiding that. You feel me? You ain't gonna see that. And
it's they threw a fresh clear coat on that.
Put a suit on it. You hear me?
Sparkle, man.
You dig?
Hey, man.
Chantel said, I love No as a former people pleaser. No is life. It helps me reclaim my time, get me time to sleep, enjoy my dogs, and watch some anime. Those all sound like amazing things. Coach AJ said that part. Andrea said yes, and why does it matter how I look and what makes me feel good unless we're close? And that's a fact. And even sometimes the people close to us, sometimes we read too much into people's opinions, or we read too much into how we think someone feels about us. And all of that shit for me is just out of my control. Like, I don't know how to keep up with that. So I don't know how to feel about that. So I don't. And I don't want to hold what's happening in the moment against anyone. You dig? Coach AJ said that's facts. I love asking people to clarify their intention behind a little shady statement. People will retract it so quick and not go about your business. Yeah, those are weak people. I'm gonna call a spade a spade. Those are weak people. Don't throw no stone to hide your hand around me. You feel me? We blow up neighborhoods. Like, I ain't throwing no rock back at your house. I'm gonna make sure this don't happen no more. And that's the lengths I'm willing to go to protect my peace. That's how I had learned to repurpose the PTSD and stop looking at it like, oh, this is just survival mode. Like, nah, this is soldier mode. This warrior, this Captain America mode. This Hawk mode. This, I know now my survival is the only thing between me and you. So I have to do whatever I have to do to stay alive. So don't put me in that type of position.
That's a fact.
If you worried about the outcome,
please don't put me in that position.
Don't make me mad.
I don't want to have to choose me, man.
Coach Chantel said this part, neurotypical and neurodivergent people have a commitment issue because so much is said with no value or subtext. Facts. And that's something I had to accept in my journey of healing, especially dealing with autism. Like, it's very easy for me to cut people off and leave people alone. The hardest thing for me is commitment. The hardest thing for me is staying around and forgiveness. Because I believe in forgiving me. I forgive me for not stepping up. I forgive me for spending the rent at the casino. I forgave me for things like that. You hear me? I forgive me for how my kids got here. I love my kids. But how they got here, I had to forget. I had to do some healing. I had to do some accepting and realize I did that through hurt. I did a lot of that. I was hurt. And I was trying to get back at the world. You know what I mean? But love my kids. I don't regret anything that I've done or how I've got here. You know what I mean? So that's a fact. And I'm realizing now the commitment is a superpower. Needing others is a superpower. That does not make you weak. Everybody needs somebody. But who are you in need of? And are you being needy? See, this is where we have to govern ourselves. And sometimes it's easy to get into marriage and say, well, they look after me. But how well do you look after yourself? Because you might be getting on that motherfucking nerves. Did you know? Well, they didn't tell me. Well, you might have to open your eyes.
They didn't have to.
Yeah.
You seen that.
Did you notice them?
It's amazing, man. But I can honestly say, I think that, self-awareness is just, it's so major in living life today, man. Like, you got to know yourself. You got to know yourself better than anything, man. Like, I don't care what's going on. Like, you got to know yourself. You got to know when and when not to. You got to know your restraints. You got to know what's a do and don't. What's the deal breaker? Learning your deal breaker is major to your, peace of mind and protecting your peace. Like, you gotta have a deal breaker first off. You know what I'm saying? Some people have deal breakers and they don't even realize what it is until they too far into the situation. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, being alert and being aware of what your deal breakers are is key to you when you going through, you know what I'm saying, your everyday life, man. Like some people I just can't hang around you because some things that you do is just a deal breaker for me. And I don't even want to put myself in that situation. You know what I'm saying? Preventing. Like, if I notice how you are, why would I bring myself or bring my peace around you? Like, and I'll be mad at you. Like, who am I really mad at? They go back to your first question. Like, who are they really mad at? Like, you mad at them for making you mad or at you for allowing them to make you mad? Like, you know, and I had to go through life and I had to learn a lot to realize that. So like being aware of yourself, being, you know, able to know, you know, when you can and when you can't. You know, I had a big problem with that growing up. Like I always could. You know what I'm saying? That was my answer. Like I always could, no matter what. Like, man, I could. Like I was gonna make it happen, bro, no matter what. Like, and it's like I learned that knowing your limits, realizing who you are and what you go through, like, you know, you be drowning yourself trying to, you know what I'm saying, always can, you know. Like, you know, being alert and being aware that is key. Like,
yeah.
I
That was me as a kid. That was me as a kid. I would make it a competition to always finish my plate, even to the point of making myself sick. I would eat all my food because I grew up with, you know, Big Mama. You better finish all that food. I was always hearing shit like that. You hear me? So I always made it my business. And then when I got older, it was just like, why am I doing it? I don't want to. I'm full. No. I
don't even like this feeling it give me. Like,
no. Yeah. I got to get up in the morning. I ain't trying to be in the bathroom. No. And you walking past it now, they like, yeah, the thing you love got flaming hot Cheetos in it now. I'm like, no. I learned. I don't need to learn that at all. You dig it all again. Now it's time that we apply those lessons. That is wisdom. That is what we're stepping into now. You dig? So that brings everything you said and everything we were talking about today full circle. Like that is that stuck feeling. And sometimes you have to accept this is where you need to be. You're not stuck. You need to be still. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they don't know that feeling.
You're not stuck. You exactly where you need to be. So I've never looked at my life in the concept of me being stuck somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, this is where I need to be. Even being locked up, I'm like, this is where I need to be. And I did something with that. I read, I wrote, I connected with people. You know what I mean? I made sure like I was being me. I made sure I was doing what I do. Chantel said my mom used to turn on the starved African children commercials if I didn't finish my play. Diabolical. They only gotta make their point, don't they? And that is psychological warfare, ladies and gentlemen. That's how you break a person. That's what the army does.
Man, what?
Watch this commercial. Eat that food.
Hey, dang, that's that.
What, flies flying around you? Eat. Like
that's
what?
The comment, that's the comment of the day right there, bro. Nah.
Yo, and that's how it be, bro. You know what I mean? Like, so we're gonna wrap up there, man. That's a beautiful place to wrap up. This has been a great show. I really enjoy everybody that came out. Can you hear me? Because I can't see you. I definitely want to take this time to shout out everybody that's here. Yes, and man, listen. I still hear the in the arms. You good?
Yeah.
She said in the arms of an angel song is triggering. I can still hear that song, bro.
Bruh, what? Man, your mama cold blood, man.
Cold. We need her fight wars. We need her to army in general.
Put her ass in some of these interrogation rooms.
We're gonna get all the answers we need. And they're gonna finish their plate. And they're gonna eat.
That's crazy, bro. That's funny as hell.
Is there anything you want to leave the people with?
Man, just be aware. Just be aware, y'all. Self-awareness. You know, I like to tie everything in together, you know. Preparation, self-awareness, purpose. You know, all these is key points that we've been hitting on, you know. And, you know, it start with you, being aware of yourself, being aware of what you have going on. Like I said, knowing your limits, knowing when and when not to, knowing the can and can'ts. You know, you got to have some can'ts. Like, it can't always be you can. You know, it gets overbearing for yourself. And that's what coming, you know, aware of your surroundings and everything that's going on, knowing yourself, like them all key points. Like, please pay attention, be aware of your limitation, know your limits. No.
I love that. I'm gonna leave y'all with stop trying to control the things you can't control. And what others do in life is something you cannot control. All we can control is our response. We are our response. You dig? So start being mindful of how you're responding to everything that's happening in your life, because those are those moments you're creating that good karma. And a lot of times we're waiting around for something to happen. You got to make things happen. I stay busy. I'm working on A because B might be ready today, and then C gonna be ready the next day, and so on and so forth. So make sure you stay busy. Sometimes it's reviewing yourself, it's looking in the mirror. Sometimes it's being alone, just sitting in silence. That's the work. You dig? So you can always be working. I always make time for mental health. That's the first thing, the first order of business in any type of business has to be, because I need to know all of our attentions are aligning. And sometimes you can have the right ideas in the right time, but it ain't the right people. So no matter what y'all try to do, it's not going to work. And that's a perfect reason for you not to take that personal. No one did anything wrong. It's just saying your energy, your time, who you are could be better used somewhere else, better utilized somewhere else. And here you're just going to be used and depleted. You feel me? So we got to become our best friend. We've heard the hotel, we can be our own worst enemy, but they never told you can become your best friend too. And you can become that thing that's saving you. You did? Because I ain't waiting around for nobody to come save me. I'm going to figure it out.
Say figure it out.
I'm going to figure it out. You hear me? So shout out to everybody in the comments. I see a few new faces. Shout out to y'all. Make sure y'all follow. Make sure y'all sharing. Y'all keeping up. Shout out to the Dropping Gems coming. We got the panel going. You want some information about that? Let me know. Go to the website, www.thegoodtribe.us. We got all the information for everything, the podcast, the events. If you want to buy a book, shout out to that. And we here. Mona says she's going to be back. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for being interactive. Everybody that came through, it is so much love. Especially we gonna need y'all's help, women. We gotta get the fellas out. It'd be all women, and women show up in these spaces, and I love it. You know what I mean? And I love it. And we're gonna get the men out because we need men and women having these conversations together. We all need to be present in these spaces because this is our world. You dig? This is our world. We gotta stop playing second fiddle. You dig? When we the big dogs.
That's a fact.
So make sure y'all tap in. She said I made my son listen. He's almost 18. Tell bro, come here and get this game. He can even call me Unc.
Uncle Russ.
You hear me? Tell him pull up.
For sure, we enjoy it,
man. And please, you see anything stand out in the comments, click them profiles, check and see what people got going on. That's why we here. You dig? Oh, we definitely all need an Unc, and we ain't the drunk Uncs. We drink, but we ain't drunk Unc.
Nah, we ain't never the drunk Unc. We might have just been the uncle that was drinking. You hear me? Yeah. But we ain't never the drunk uncle.
Yeah, we gonna help you vet your girlfriends, and we gonna help you pick a good school. You dig? We don't kind of uncles. Take you to your first club. You dig? Have a good time.
Real, man.
So yeah, networking 100%. So thank y'all for hanging over with us. We're gonna probably go over every week. Like this, we do whatever we want. You dig? It's our show. We excited to be here. We happy to be here. Every Monday, Thursday. We here 8. We're gonna have a guest. as much as we can on Thursdays. We're not promising one every week because people got lives too, and we gonna respect people's schedules. So just bear with us. You dig? Ride with us. It's gonna be a beautiful journey, bro. I truly am glad to be doing this with you, bro.
Definitely, bro. Same, brother. Feeling is mutual for sure. What better to do with your brother, man?
Family business. That's what we on.
Family can do business together, believe it
We
the
gonna
theory
show 'em.
or not.
We gonna show them. You hear me?
Nah, for sure, man. This is a show. This is definitely a show, and that's one of the perfect examples that we want to set for this. Is that family can do things together, man, and they can be positive, man, for sure.
I love it. All right, y'all. Y'all be safe. Y'all be great. We see y'all Thursday.
Peace.